Dear students, in this session, we will learn about Winter Time, a poem by Robert Louis Stevenson. So, first, we'll look into the summary of this poem. The poem starts off with the speaker describing how the sun spends far too few hours awake during the winter. It rises, is warm for an hour or two, and then sets again. He uses personification in order to depict this occurrence and others within the confines of the poem. The speaker describes how hard it is to get up during this time of year and the way that a single candle does nothing to warm him. When he goes outside, his nurse wraps him up in numerous pieces of clothing and he can observe the snow covered landscape. The poem ends with a simile comparing these sights to a frosted wedding cake. In the first stanza of Winter Time, the speaker begins by noting that during the winter, the sun, like a sleepy person, stays in bed for a long time. Then, when it does wake up, it only shines a light on the world for an hour or two before going back to bed. This is a creative way of using personification to describe how the sun rises and sets during winter. It's also clear from these first lines that the speaker wishes the winter was different and he could enjoy more heat and light throughout the year. In the second stanza, he goes on to add that the dark lasts so long that the stars are still in the sky when he rises or when he gets out of bed. It's a hard process on that many different readers are likely going to be able to relate to. It's always cold and he has to shiver as he baths and dresses. In the third stanza, the speaker personifies the fire as jolly and uses more language that makes it quite easy for readers to envision the scenes he is experiencing. During the winter, he sits near the warm fire or steps outside and is wrapped up by his nurse in this comforter and cap. It's with this line that readers might consider who the speaker is. Often Stevenson wrote with young readers in mind or even from the perspective of a child. It would make sense that these lines are coming from a child's imagination. They have quite vibrant and interesting. There is also a whimsy to them that feels youthful. Let's talk about in the final four lines, the speaker describes what it's like to step outside and see his own frosty breath. It flows abroad, and all round him are sights over with white snow. He compares them to a wedding cake covered in white frosting. Word bank: frosty means freezing, fiery means burning, sled means light wooden vehicle, doth means old use for does. Previously we used to use doth, but nowadays we use does. Comforter means muffles or muffler you say. Sod means grass or lawn. Frosted means snow covered. Let's have the MCQ. In the poem, the dash is being described as sleepy head. Option B is the correct answer. It's sun. Question number 2. When the boy wakes up, he can see dash in the sky. Option number A is the correct answer, stars in the sky. Option C, question number C, 3. The boy has to bath and dress by the candlelight. Option number C is the correct answer. The, the trees and the hills are covered with white snow. Option number A is the correct answer. Let's look into comprehension. Question number 1. When does the poet have to get up to bath and dress? How does he feel? Answer. The poet has to get up before the stars have left the sky at the morning in the dark to bath and dress. He feels shivering in his nakedness. Question number 2. How does his nurse dress him when he goes out? Answer. His nurse dresses him with his warm clothes and comforter and cap when he goes out. Question number 3. How does the chilly breeze affect him? And the answer. The chilly breeze burns his face and blows its frosty paper up his nose. Question number 4. Name the things that are frosted like a wedding cake. And the answer is the things that are frosted like a wedding cake, such as tree, house, hill, lake, and so on. Question number 5. How will the poet explore the colder countries? And the answer is the poet explores the colder countries by explaining the natural scenario. He sits by the jolly fire to warm his frozen bones a bit, or with a reindeer sled to explore the colder countries round the door. Question number 6. At the morning in the dark I rise. Explain this statement, and the correct answer is at the morning in the dark I rise. This line is quoted from the poem called Winter Time by Robert Louis Stevenson. The line is said by the poet that he gets up very early in the morning to bath and dress. Let's talk about true and false. Right, true or false? The sun rises very early in the winter. It's false. It is still dark when the boy wakes up. It's true. He likes the feeling of the cold wind on his face. False. The cold wind makes him feel like paper inside his nose. It's true. His breath becomes frosty with cold. It's true. The tree, house, and hill look like a plum cake. It's false because it was looking like a wedding cake, है ना. ट्री, हाउस एंड हिल ये सब किस तरह का लग रहा था? वेडिंग केक जैसे ही लग रहा था. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, all of you read the poem, and I hope all of you have the book to read the poem. Read this poem so called Winter Time, written by poet Stevenson, Robert Louis Stevenson. It's a very beautiful and interesting poem, I thought, and I have taken your classes, also will be taking your classes on this poem, and all of you write the summary, word bank, MCQ, comprehension, true, false, whatever are included in this session, in this video. Please do write in your notebook in English literature fair copy, and continue to learn and stay safe, be happy. Thank you.